What is up, everybody? Welcome to Comic Hero Talk on the Bartley and Barnes YouTube channel. I am Jacob Bartley, and these are my Harley Quinn Season 2 reviews. And today we are talking Episode 3, Trapped. So let's get into it. We're definitely going to be talking spoilers on these reviews. And if you haven't watched these before, I reviewed Harley Quinn Season 1. Absolutely loved it. And I really loved these first 2 episodes of Season 2 so far. So let's get into it. Like I said, we're going to get into some spoilers here. And just to give some context, the first 2 episodes of this season are incredible. They're on par with Season 1 overall, even though Season 1 did not have the... every episode wasn't perfect in Season 1, but overall, amazing season. The first 2 episodes continued that momentum. This episode wasn't the best, but I still really enjoyed it. It was still a great, fun episode. It just wasn't just this excellence that I think that the first 2 episodes delivered. And that's okay, because not every episode of every season has to be gold. It doesn't have to work that way. I don't think there's ever been a TV show where every single episode is absolute gold. There's always some episodes that, I don't want to say are filler, but that just aren't those high standard episodes. Like, if you were to only show someone one episode of a series, those episodes would not be ones that you would show. Like, I would show somebody maybe the first 2 episodes of this season, or many of the episodes in Season 1, before I would show them this episode 3 of Season 2. But that being said, I still had fun. I still really enjoyed it. The Dr. Trap thing was cool. Seeing all the villain weapons in his little maze thing was cool. And also the debut of Catwoman was awesome. And I really like what they did with Catwoman, because they start talking about her as Poison Ivy having this relationship with her, and how, you know, Poison Ivy is kind of always been throughout this series the voice of reason, the one who's always reeling Harley back in, the one who's always just mentally stable. And now when it comes to, I mean, I say mentally stable, but she's like murders people for the environment. But I mean, deep down, Poison Ivy has a good cause, even though she does terrible things. But we see when it comes to Catwoman, she's totally lost it. She's totally flustered. She's like, oh, Catwoman's so cool. Once you're with her, you wanna be her. And then they introduce Catwoman, and she just has this confidence and this swag. And Harley's not really buying it. But she's never seen Poison Ivy like this, and it's really funny. I love what they did with that. And of course, you have these traps from Dr. Trap, and Harley and Ivy they're trying to steal this flamethrower that can melt Mr. Freeze's ice castle, and they can't get in, so they get a cat burglar. They get Catwoman, who can easily find her way through these traps, and she leads them to the flamethrower and ultimately gets it. But then she dips out on them, because you have that storyline where Kite Man, which I love the Poison Ivy Kite Man stuff. In Season 1, you thought it was just going to be this gimmick, and then it turned into some like real relationship type thing, and like actually relatable. And I've been shocked with that relationship, and it's been really cool, and I still enjoy it. It's one of my favorite parts of the series, and I love how they make fun of his kite at first, and then they start showing how practical it is. He makes a line, he says, wow, in a post-apocalyptic world, kites are very useful, because he gets them into Riddle U in last episode, and then he gets them into, I think he takes them to the Dr. Trap Museum, and without him, they wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that they do. So they've made use of Kite Man, and it's been excellent. So then he wants to go into Dr. Trap's museum and steal this ring that has a leaf on it for Ivy. And once they get to the flamethrower, Catwoman steals the ring and heads off and leaves them there, not kind of showing her who she really is. And then another storyline is you have Riddler, who's being held captive at the mall where the Harley Quinn crew lives, and he's messing with Dr. Psycho and eventually tricks Dr. Psycho into helping him escape. And then the funniest thing happens, because I'm like, wow, Riddler escaped, of course. And then when they, at the end of the episode, when they tell Harley, they're like, we gotta go find him. And then he just shows up. He's like, you know what? It's terrible out there. I'm in the best shape of my life running on this hamster wheel. And you guys are funny to watch and entertaining. So I'm just going to stay here. And he puts himself back on the machine and keeps running. That was hilarious because I don't know. The Riddler character is so entertaining. At first he was annoying, but I really enjoy the Riddler character, especially after this episode. Just overall, maybe I like this episode more than I thought. It didn't hit that deep level for me that a lot of the other episodes have, but I still really liked it. There's not really, I can't tell you what my negatives are. It was just solid all the way through. It didn't hit that high bar for me, but there's just still, you have these characters that I love, these interactions. I loved seeing Poison Ivy flustered with Catwoman and what that means. And I want Catwoman to come back because if you follow the DC Comics at all, there's been like this Catwoman, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy have kind of became this big three of DC villainesses. And I want to see them more together. I want to see them together in live action one day. I think that will happen. So seeing them three together is awesome. I hope Catwoman comes back and shows that she's not so selfish and so scummy, and maybe she actually joins the crew or something like that. I would love to see that happen. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on Harley Quinn season 2 episode 3 titled Trapped. Really enjoyed it. Not my favorite, but I think it was really good. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I really want to hear what you thought of this episode of Harley Quinn. And yes, join me next week as I will be reviewing episode 4. Please subscribe. Again, I am Jacob Bartley. This is Bartley and Barnes YouTube channel. Comic Hero Talk is the show. See you all next time.